Hello and welcome back. Now I really want to keep this video short, so let's get straight into it with this week's update on my training and nutrition and kind of general update as to how things are going. Now, before I go any further, just a reminder, I'm not a PT. This is not advising you perhaps what you should do. This is very much just me being accountable to you and letting you into the kind of fitness journey that I'm on, and really a conversation starter. So anything you'd like to comment on or any ideas or questions, fire them at me and let's make this a community thing. So as previously said, my focus very much at the moment is Hyrox, as well as keeping my cycling fitness in place, ready for the spring. And I do that with a mix of high and low days. So no further ado, this is how it's been breaking down recently. So most recently, we've obviously had Christmas and the New Year period, which we're right in the middle of it at the time of filming. So that has played into it because, of course, family commitments, we all have family commitments. So, you can't always train, and actually having a couple of days off is no bad thing either. So, yeah, but this hopefully will just give you a rough idea as to kind of how I've got around that. So I'm just looking down at my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. I don't have the greatest memory anymore. I used to be able to do this all off the top of my head. I can't anymore. So the high days. I had 3 high days in the most recent week. The first high day was a strength circuit at Rigorous Gym. Got to rep the brand. Great bunch of people down there. So I'm always happy to talk about Rigorous to anyone who wants to listen. So, but yeah, it's a strength circuit. It's called Hyrox Strong. So it's very kind of Hyrox focused, but it's functional fitness. So, sleds, push, pull, squats, pull-ups, all that kind of stuff. And you're doing it kind of in an hour and a quarter circuit. Varies between a minute on and 25 seconds off to 3 minutes on and 45 seconds off, or various kind of intervals each week. But really good. Heart rate stays in that kind of high aerobic kind of zone. Doesn't go into anaerobic. Occasionally on something like sleds it can do, and wall balls always form part. Bloody wall balls, but they always form part of the session as well, and the heart rate does get up a little bit there. So, but it's pretty tough. You certainly know you've done an hour and a quarter of it anyway. My second high day of the week was again back at Rigorous, doing what they call rigorcise. So it's very much a Hyrox based workout where you do definitely go up more into those high intensity anaerobic zones. According to my Coros watch, a review's coming on this Coros because it's an amazing watch. But yeah, it really breaks down in detail as to how each training session goes, and it's just fascinating the amount of data that this watch has been kind of pumping out on the back of those sessions. So I will fill you in on that at a later date. The third high intensity day was a kettlebell session here in the rather cold, you can probably see my breath, home gym, and also an interval session on the turbo. Now the low day was very much a low day. It was just kind of zone 2 on the turbo, and then I've had a couple of days off as well, and that's partly work, partly Christmas enforced. But no bad thing. I think when you get over 50, back-to-back days take their toll, and you need to get that recovery in. Now, just for laughs, I decided on Christmas Eve to go out and do a half marathon down the local canal path. It's the flattest piece of land I can find around here. We're in Wales, it's hilly everywhere. So I think in 13 miles, I did like 120 feet of climbing, but really nice 2-hour session. And yeah, it's just a really nice way of spending Christmas Eve morning, and burns off a few calories before you overindulge at the next 48 hours. So on the whole, really easy week, and I think you need those. What I try and do is have 3 weeks of kind of ramping up, and then a week kind of slight deload without going too far the other way and losing your gains. So you don't lose your gains that quickly. That was a bad choice of phrase, but you know what I mean. You don't lose any fitness. You still put just enough in the tank to kind of keep you ticking over and maintaining, but it just doesn't keep overloading and progressive overloading your system. So definitely worth doing. Nutrition. Now, obviously Christmas, this is something we all talk about on a regular basis. How on earth do you keep on track during Christmas? Well, to be honest, it's quite easy. You just say no. It's really not that difficult. I kind of making that slightly tongue-in-cheek because, yeah, it is hard to say no, and there's lots of nice desserts and things like that around. But what I try to do is keep the same parameters, with the exception of Christmas Day, the same parameters of eating at maintenance calories, knowing I'm going to go slightly above on Christmas Day anyway, and probably went quite a lot above on Christmas Day. Yeah, one day is, in my opinion, doesn't really hurt you. And why not? You can't live for training. You've got to enjoy your life at the same time. But yeah, other than that, I mean, nutrition, making sure I have high amounts of protein. As you may know, when you get beyond 50, your body doesn't actually process protein as efficiently as it once did. So in order for the body to get the amount of protein that you probably need, you have to eat more in your 50s, this is the way I understand it anyway, than you do in your 20s, allowing for that inefficiency in converting the protein. So yeah, I'm still aiming for kind of 140, 150 grams or so of protein a day, which is pretty easily doable. In terms of supplements, and I probably will do a video, if you want to do me to do a video on supplements, I don't go supplement mad, but I mean, there's a few I take. I mean, protein shakes if I'm struggling to get my protein intake for that day. I've recently started taking a collagen supplement as well, which I just have with orange cordial. Tastes lovely, does the trick. HMB, that's an interesting one. Jury's out as to how it's going to work, but in theory it sounds really impressive supplement and worthwhile taking, certainly as you get older. And we're fighting muscle loss, it kind of allegedly helps in that, so time will tell. But other than that, I don't go mad with supplements. I have a vitamin D supplement because it's winter and it's grey and it's dull and it's horrible, and it keeps me happy. That was me happy. That's as happy as I get. So anyway, a vitamin D. I have magnesium before I go to bed just to help me sleep, and also magnesium helps ward off any cramps and things like that. So that's it. I told you it was going to be short and sweet, so hopefully you found some value in there, but I'm really keen to stay accountable to you. Oh, and the weight thing, actually, final thing, weight thing. Yeah, I'm actually still the same weight, so haven't put any weight on over Christmas, so hey, that's a bonus. But yeah, Hyrox is just over 3 weeks away at time of recording, so yeah, it's concentrating the mind for sure, but I feel ready. Credit to Warren and the team at Rigorous, and also, you know, just I guess myself kind of trying to hold back a little bit at Christmas on the food and things like that. Yeah, I feel as ready as I possibly can be. So yeah, bring it on. That's what I say. So yeah, hopefully I'll get another one of these videos out before Hyrox. And then obviously we'll do the Hyrox event video as well. If you're going to Manchester, please let me know and we'll say hi there. So until next time, take care. Bye for now.